recognizing the retirement of Bob Brown, who is not the owner of a fantasy football team in my league, but a 20-year employee in our Parks Maintenance Department as well as Public Works. So with that, I'm going to hand it right over to Andrew to recognize Bob. Bob, welcome.
Thank you. Mayor, Council, sorry, fellow staff and the Eagan community. Thanks for this opportunity to sit before you and recognize Mr. Bob Brown. It is always a pleasure to have the honor to speak about our retiring staff and kind of send them out on high. I'd like to highlight some of the great things also that Bob has done for the city, because he's done some very unique items. Up here with me is Paul Graham, our park superintendent, who will also help me recognize Bob. I think it goes unsaid when we don't also take the opportunity to thank those other members of a family. And Shelley is back in the back. Thank you, Shelley, for sharing Bob with us for 20 years.
It's very difficult to pick Shelley out in this crowd. She's got a huge smile on.
She does have a great smile. What, you know, a lot of times with park maintenance, being a mechanic for the city, you have snow removal opportunities and job duties. And sometimes snow flies before the traditional work hours, and sometimes snow flies well after the traditional work hours. So that does have an impact on families, and so we want to make sure that we recognize that and you know, appreciate Shelley as well when we send Bob into retirement here. So some fun facts highlighting Mr. Brown and his work in Eagan. I spoke of the 20 years that Bob worked for the city. The last 4 of those 20 years were with the Park Maintenance Division, and then the previous 16 as a mechanic in the Fleet Division. Over those 2 jobs, I think it's pretty safe to say that Bob had done something that just about impacted every staff member in the Eagan staff. Bob has always worked very hard for the citizens of the city, looking at ways which he could impact operational efficiencies. Bob is a very unique individual with talents that maybe you wouldn't expect from your stereotypical park maintenance employee. He works hard to set a high standard for himself, but in addition, he really puts the team to that same level of standard. His coworkers describe him as being a very skilled individual, a hard worker that is very disciplined, dedicated, and always focused and determined to get the job done. Bob's also a bit of a creative genius, helping implement a few items that have saved our taxpayers significant money over time. One of those is the park's GPS-based work that helps line our ball fields. We have many ball fields across our park system, and by mastering the GPS technology, Bob was able to outline all the different field setups that were needed, and this automated practice greatly reduces the amount of staff hours that are needed to get our ball fields lined. And that, again, with reduced hours and demand on staff, equals considerable savings to the community. During his years in the mechanic shop, Bob was the dedicated squad car setup guy. And in setting up police vehicles, he did it in ways where most our fellow cities a lot of times contract that work out. So again, it's a cost savings that he had saved for the city. Bob has installed all of the city's art benches recently. He's worked firsthand with the artists and even has done some custom design work himself, building shelving at facilities, one of a kind tractor-mounted rollers that help prep the ice arenas and soil areas where we put the ice and/or build turf in the summers. He's built and installed the practice boards at our tennis court facilities throughout the city, and many more items I'm not going to go into. For many years, Bob was the mainline snow plow driver, always responsive to the extended days and hours needed to maintain our safe streets. When someone needed to get the job done on time and with high quality, supervisors always knew that they could count on Bob to get the job done. Lastly, it should be noted, Bob is also a very talented blacksmith and spends several days a year volunteering at our park events at Holtz Farm. So Bob, we thank you, my friend. Your time and your commitment and service to the Eagan community. You'll be missed by the staff and the community, but your retirement is an exciting time. And we hope that you enjoy this next step in your life. Congratulations.
Thank you to all the staff and coworkers for the support over the 20 years, and it's been enjoyable. And now I can do other things, and I won't be a stranger probably. Thank you.
Thank you, Bob. Shelley, thank you as well for sharing Bob with us and being so proud of him, it appears. No. Thanks for 20 really good years, and I think the things that Andrew just talked about, Bob, you're really exemplar of the kind of employee that we have all over the city of Eagan, and I think you help set a standard for your fellow employees and coworkers as well. So thank you for all that and for 20 years of contributing in unique and dependable ways. So thank you.